Imagine this. You are the owner of a small online store. Sales have been booming for the past few months, and now you're wondering how many orders will I get next month? Should I stock up more inventory, hire extra staff? That's all question going on. Now, what if I told you, that you don't need a crystal ball to find out what if there was a way to predict future sales based on past trends with just a few clicks? That's exactly what Tableau forecasting featured. It analyzes patterns in your data and help you make smarter decisions whether you're planning sales, predicting website traffic, or even forecasting your personal expenses. Tableau do it for all. In today's video, we are diving deep into Tableau prediction analytics, showing you how to forecast our data like a pro. Let's get started here. Hi, I'm Ansh from KnowHow Academy. In this video, we will break down what forecasting is in Tableau and how it works. Then we will see how to create a forecast step by step. Then how Tableau makes prediction using historical data. Let's dive in. So first, let's understand what forecasting in Tableau basically is. So what exactly is forecasting in Tableau? Any guesses? In simple terms, it's a way to predict future values based on past trends. Think of it as looking at historical data and using it to make an educated guesses and about what's coming next for you. But it's not just a random guess, it's a data driven approach powered by advanced statistical methods by you. And Tableau primarily use time series forecasting, which relies on historical data points recorded over time. The magic behind this is something called exponential smoothing. But don't worry, guys, that's just a fancy way of saying that Tableau detects patterns like seasonality and trends and then extend those patterns into the future. It assigns more importance to recent data while styling considering older data, making the prediction more relevant and accurate. Let's say you have sales data for the past year. Tableau can analyze seasonal trends like what are the spikes in sales every December due to holiday shopping, and they can analyze growth patterns that is your revenue steadily increasing over time or not. And it can also analyze fluctuation and cycles like do your sales dip in certain months and rise in others. Based on these insights, Tableau doesn't just tell you what happened, it helps you see what likely to happen. There's a way more difference between what happened and what likely to happen next. Whether you're forecasting sales, website traffic, or inventory demand, these tools can give you competitive edges, guys. Now, let's get hand-on and create a forecasting tab. I will walk you through it step by step so you can follow along and predict trends in your own data. So our first step is loading our data. First, we need a data set that include two key components. I had a data set of sample superstore data. So you can see I had a sample superstore data set. You need to understand there should be two key components in your data set. First, a data field like order date or month, which represent 9, and second is measurable values such as sales or revenue, which we want to forecast. Okay, make sure your data is structured correctly. If you don't have a data set, you can use Tableau sample superstore data set. I had that, so I don't have any much data, so I've taken the sample superstore data set. My second step is to create a time series chart. So how I'm gonna create it? I'll go to my sheet 1 here. In sheet 1, now it's time to create a visualization, which is essential for forecasting. Now what we need to drag a major value that it should be discount, profit, quantity, sales, anything. If I take it as example, I take my profit to the sales shelf. So when I take it to the sales shelf, it has been plot your data points over time showing historical trend. Now it's time to change date field to continuous. I'll take to year and take it to continuous. So it taking me to the continuous value now. So while right clicking on data field, you can convert to continuous if you want to smoother trend line instead of individual points. At this stage, you should see a basic line chart displaying your data over time. Now a third step is enabling forecasting. Now comes the exciting part. Adding a forecast can check on the analytic pane on the left. Where you go to the analytic pane, here's your forecast. I drag it to the here. So now you can see that these are still the actual one. Now, when you're done with the forecast, Tableau will automatically generate a forecast extend your trend line into the future. You will now see a continuous of your data with a lighter shaded area. This represents Tableau prediction based on historical trend. If you see that I had actual data in 2016 of 81,795. And if I go here, so it predicts me the 2017 data based on the previous one. And if I go down, it also predict me 2018 data, and in the end it will tell like at 2018 you got a profit of 22,332. So with that, these are the forecasting you can do. Now, four steps come in customizing your forecast for better insight. We will do that. To make sure forecast fit your needs, let's customize it. What you need to do is just adjust your forecast length. Forecast length, what we need, we're gonna here right click and go to forecast and go forecast option. Here, we need to check some things like if I want exactly for 6 months, that's why I say I take it as 6 year exactly. Like for the next 6 year, how I'm gonna make it my profit more and how it will predict me. From that, I'll go and click on OK here. So if you see till actual it's showing me 2016 and like actual. Okay, if I go here, you can see 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and so at 23 I gotta be profit at 1370 1,37,000 around something. If I started here, I started with 49,000 rupees, but at the end of my 2023 it got me a profit of 1,37 rupees. That's I will able to see that it will able to get me or not. With that, you can able to get that these are the intervals, that shaded line, overrated line, that can possibly tell you the future of your upcoming patterns. They analyze the pattern based on your historical data and analyze it that your data can be increased or decreased in the future. Now, our step 5 is interrupt your forecast. Now that your forecast is ready, here's what to look for. If I see the solid line represent a predicted trend. Okay, so if I see the shaded area, okay, this is are the what we said, like representing the predicted trend. And these, if you can see, these the shaded area that shows the range where future values are likely to fall. Like in the trading, if you see that it should fall in the middle of something like that, this will predict it. And if the forecast looks off, tweak the setting to improve its accuracy. Here's it's or normally I don't have to do that, but if you had anything, so you can do that. And that's it. You have successfully created a forecasting tablet. Now you can use this to predict future trends, make data-driven decisions, and impress your team with insights before they even happen. So our main question here arises: how Tableau make prediction basically? Now let's pull it back. The certain. How does Tableau actually make this prediction? It's not just a magic, it's a math, simple math around here. Tableau use advanced statistical techniques to analyze patterns in your data and extend them into, futures and pattern in your data and extend them into the future. Let's break it down how it will done. First is exponential smoothing, the heart of forecasting. At the core of Tableau forecasting is smoothing called exponential smoothing. But what does that mean basically? Instead of treating all past data equally, Tableau give more weighted to recent trends while still considering older data one. It smoothed out random fluctuation to focus on real patterns. For example, if sales have been steadily increasing, Tableau recognized this trend and projected forward rather than just taking a revenge of all past value. Think of it like predicting the weather. You don't just look at temperature from 5 years ago, you focus on recent trends while still accounting for long term. Second, here comes this seasonality detection. It is like recognizing repeating patterns. So, Tableau is also smart enough to detect seasonality in your data. If your business sees spikes in sales every December due to holiday shopping, Tableau will recognize the pattern and factor into the forecast area. And here how it works. Tableau analyzes historical data to identify repeating. It looks for cycles, weekly, months, quarters, or yearly trends for you. So it adjusts prediction based on these patterns instead of assuming a straight line trend. For instance, if your sales dip every January and peak in July, Tableau won't just assume steady growth. It will predict a similar rise and fall into our future. So, the third here comes is confidence intervals, measuring prediction accuracy. No prediction is 100% certain, and that's where confidence interval come in. These show the range where future values are most likely to fall, helping you understand the uncertain on your forecast. In Tableau, you will notice a shaded area. These shaded area. Okay, that will is a forecast line. That's the confidence interval. Here's how to interrupt that. A narrow confidence interval means a Tableau is highly confident in the forecast. A wider confidence interval means there's more uncertainty possibility due to fluctuating data or limited historical trends. For example, if you are forecasting next month's sales and the confidence interval is tight, pretty cool, right? With this understanding, you are not just using Tableau forecasting blindly. you actually know how it works and how to improve it. So let's wrap up and see what we have covered today. Today we saw about what is forecasting is in Tableau and how it works. And then we saw how to create a forecast step by step. And at last we saw how Tableau make prediction using historical data. With these, you can able to predict your own future or your company data future. Thank you for choosing KnowHow Academy as a source of your IT knowledge. We always here to help you and navigate you to the tech world.